guys, what's going on? It is Ash here coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends. Thank you so much, Raid Shadow Legends, for sponsoring today's video. This is part 4 in our 5 video series of this game, which I am playing, doing very well in. We have Chosen from Chofly Mobile back on the channel. Chosen, what's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, what's up, Ash? Thanks for having me.
No problem, dude. I made some progress here. I think you're going to be proud of me. But I do want to remind my viewers, if you use my download link, I don't get anything special for you guys using my download link, by the way, but you guys do. You get Executioner, you get 100k silver, you get, what else? You get an energy refill, and 50 gems. So it's a pretty good haul. Executioner is a champion that you can actually ride early game into mid game. They don't usually give away champions of his caliber, so definitely use the download link below to go ahead and check out the game. And I will be creating a clan finally after this video, so you guys can join my clan. I'll put that in the pinned comment. And subscribe to Chofly Mobile. Really good channel. He covers the content pretty much daily, right?
Yeah, most days.
Yeah, so you guys can check him out there and get your fill of Raid Shadow Legends strategy. So, where we left off, man, is I was going to try to get all my guys, or a few of my guys, up to 5 or 6 stars. Was that the kind of the game plan?
Yeah, I think I requested you to get 2 5-stars, so it looks like you overachieved.
You like that, man? I've been grinding. So,
yeah,
2 6 stars. I got Kale and Biggin to 6 stars. So I'm loving it. First of all, I want to give you a little feedback on my squad, my A squad, right? So
all right.
I have Kale and Biggin, who I'm very happy with. But I gotta say, dude, Skull Crusher. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just not appreciative of what he brings to the table. But I'm not loving him. He doesn't put out enough damage for me. Like, I'm addicted to the DPS, you know? What do you think about Skull Crusher? Like, should I switch him out, or should I just ride the course?
Well, what you're saying is funny because a lot of early to mid-game players are probably going to be like, what is the big deal with counterattack? Like, this doesn't even really seem to matter. But it's kind of like an end game mechanic. Like, when you get to the end game and you're really setting up like specific squads for specific tasks, you're really going to appreciate that counterattack. The Stonewall ability that he has on the A2, because counterattack is a team-wide counterattack is very hard to acquire. There's only like 3 good champions that have the team-wide counterattack, and like you said earlier, with the Executioner being good and how it's kind of a big deal to get him, one of the reasons that makes him really good is he has a built-in counterattack ability. Okay. So I appreciate it then. So I should stay the course with him. Well, yeah, you'll definitely want him, like, you know, for like progressing in certain dungeons and building a clan boss team later on. You'll definitely want a good counterattack champion. So I would definitely keep leveling him up and have him ready to go.
And then I have Elaine, who I've still been working on. She's looking pretty good here. But anyway, so I have Elaine, who I'm at level 40, 4 stars. I just haven't gotten a chance to upgrade her to the next tier or whatever. So to 5 stars. But she's just all right. I'm not like loving her either. So, and I also, per your instructions, I have a Spirit Host unlocked and leveled up to 4 as well. So that's my progress. What would you, if I was gonna swap out maybe Elaine, I'll keep Skull Crusher in, but who would you recommend I swap out for Elaine? I want like just someone who I can farm XP with a little bit easier.
Well, Elaine does have the 2 AoE abilities, so she is pretty good at like speed farming and farming AoE. She seems like she's not performing because you have a Kale at 6 stars and she's at 4 stars. So just as an inherent champion, the Kale and the Biggin are going to perform much better because their base stats are going to be higher because they've been starred up, and they're also probably wearing better artifacts. Like, if you swapped your Kale and your Elaine in terms of stars and gear, you'd probably be like, wow, Elaine's pretty good.
She's a beast. I got you. So you think I should stay the course with this squad for the most part then?
Yeah, I mean, I think for Arena, you know, you'll get a little bit of value out of Elaine, but you are probably admittedly going to be using your Kale and your Biggin as your main damage dealers. So the Elaine isn't as important.
Okay. I mean, I noticed I had a level 1. I had like a level 0 sword on her anyway. So that probably, is definitely. Okay. So I want to get into this video. I really want to take a deep dive into the optimal strategy for skills and masteries for my champions. And then we'll talk a little bit about kind of clan boss strategy and other stuff, faction wars too, towards the end of the video. But I want to ask, I haven't actually done much in terms of artifact upgrading. in terms of masteries, because I wanted to ask you for the advice, right? Let's use Kale for example, right? So Kale, as you can see, I haven't done much here because I've been waiting for you. So first of all, I wanted to kind of take tab by tab here. Artifact upgrade strategy. So Kale is obviously, I'm invested, right? He's one of my go-to guys. He's 6 stars. What should I do? Where should I spend my valuable silver here? Should I go artifacts? Should I just keep upgrading my go-to guys like Biggin and Kale and Skull Crusher? Are there artifacts like all the way to 16 and unlock the next ability, or what?
Yeah, so the first thing I noticed kind of right off the jump is you're wearing a 4-piece set, but you're wearing all 6 pieces.
Okay,
so you could maybe, well, yeah, not a big no-no if they're your best artifacts, but you could maybe squeeze out just a little bit more value if you threw on like a 2-piece set and a 4-piece set. Okay. So let's click and see what you got here. Like just click on your artifacts.
Yeah, I just want to see. So defense, HP, attack, crit rate, and attack, and HP. So I could probably HP 39%. That's pretty epic. So I could probably get rid of the defense, right? Maybe the two defense is in the HP or something.
Well, yeah, but your shield has crit damage, and speed, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
You want to get your crit rate as close to 100% as you can. Now, in the early game, it's going to be hard to do that, but you want that crit rate to keep climbing up. You see that it's 15 plus 55. That means you're at 70 total. So you would ideally want to get like 30% more crit chance. Okay. Now, your gloves have crit rate inherently, and they're a 6 star, so that's very good. So getting them to 16 is probably your first priority.
Okay, cool. And it looks like I have some stuff that I can actually wear, right? Is he a dark elf? He's a dark elf, right?
Yeah, the artifact system will automatically put the jewelry artifacts as the top priority. So yes, he's a dark elf. It's got him on top there.
Okay, got you. So, but this one, defense, HP, and attack, I guess I'll wear it, right? There's no reason not to.
Yep.
But it doesn't seem like a perfect fit for him. Should I upgrade a lot, or?
Yeah, it's definitely, because you could roll attack a couple times, and that would be pretty good for Kale. So yeah, it's definitely worth throwing it up to level 8 real quick, I would say.
Okay, and how come I can't unlock these next? He's already a 5 star, so why can't I unlock the next one?
It's actually, that's Ascension instead. The purple stars are Ascension. The yellow stars are your max XP capability. So you'll have to go into the tavern right there on the bottom right, kind of ish. If you go to the tavern and then you click on the Ascend tab on the right side, the 4th one down, this is where you get the purple stars. And then when you get the 5th one, you can wear an amulet. And then when you get a 6th one, you can wear a banner.
Damn. All right. So should I be how important is Ascension now?
Yeah, Ascension is also important because if you go out to the champion tab again, kind of back to that home screen, and then click on skills up there on the top right, and then you see that little exclamation point by Acid Rain. So right there, when you get to 3-star Ascension, you're now going to improve that skill.
And this is what I need for Stonewall that we talked about.
Yes, so each character has, well, I shouldn't say each, but most characters have a skill that improves at level 3 Ascension. So getting your army to level 3 Ascension can be very helpful.
Okay, cool. So that's going to be a priority for me, and I assume that I get that in the dungeons?
Yep.
Okay, cool. We'll talk about that in a minute. But, okay, so the skills, again, is one of those things I haven't done much on skills. So we talked about artifacts, just to kind of wrap that up. It looks like I'm going to be going... It sounds like what you were saying is focus on the stats that are most important for that champion, and then upgrade those pieces of armor first. Pretty solid, and then take it to level 16. Take it to the max stat bonus to begin with.
Yep, I would say for your most impactful ones, which is usually your pieces that have a % main stat, like attack % or HP % or crit rate, I would take those, with priority to getting them upgraded.
Okay. And staying with Kale as an example here, we're going to go to the skills, right? So skills, I have some books, right? I've used everything, all my books I've used on Kale so far. I think I used maybe 1 or 2 on Biggin too. So what would you advise for strategy in terms of books? They seem like such a finite resource versus I have so many champions. So so what should I do? What's the optimal strategy for those?
Well, yeah, great questions. The first thing I would say is ideally don't use skill books that are for an above rarity. So for instance, right here, you can see the blue books are rare, or the light blue. the purplish ones are epic, and then the reddish ones are legendary. So you don't want to use anything other than a rare skill book for Kale. Like it will let you use epics and legendaries, but I would only do that in like an emergency scenario, and honestly, you should probably never do it. So
okay, yeah, I hear you. So okay, I only have one rare book then, so it's kind of pointless here, I guess. But what level do the skills go up to, by the way?
well, you have to click on them. So like
okay.
down there in the middle, if you click on them, you can see. So that one's maxed out, and then go to the next one. That one's maxed out, and then go to the third one, and then you can see. So the skill book is going to apply to a random skill, but in your case right here, it's not going to be random because you only have one skill that's not maxed out. So I would definitely put all of your rare skill books into Kale. Because you already have him 6-star. You've got him fully XP invested in. Rare skill books are going to be a little bit more easier to acquire. So you might as well go ahead and just slam them on Kale every time you get one.
And where, just to clarify, where are skill books found?
Typically, you're going to be getting skill books out of like tournament rewards and event rewards. A lot of times they will do in-game kind of, a couple day long events. And if you complete those events, sometimes towards the end, you'll get a skill book as like a reward.
Okay, cool.
You can also get them from later clan boss, I should say, but.
Okay. So that's pretty self-explanatory then in terms of, so would you recommend I finish off Kale, and then, I might as well use some right now because I have Biggin and I have the legendary books, so there's no one else who I don't even have another legendary champion, so I guess it's an easy upgrade. So let's go ahead to his skills. So just use all of them?
Yep. You're gonna use Biggin a lot, so you might as well just max
All right, here we
booking.
go. Let's see what I'm gonna get here. Okay, head splitter. Lot of more damage. It's gonna be sweet. All right, here we go. And this one is what? Okay, cool. All right, here we go. Level 4, level 5. Wow.
Yep. Boom.
All right. So it doesn't matter if I use them one at a time, obviously, right? I should
Nope.
like save them up. Just use them when I have them.
Nope.
Okay, cool.
I would just use them because the better you make your champions, the more quickly you make your champions better, the faster you're going to progress. So, yeah, I would use that. You didn't use the rare one on Kale. I would go slam the rare one on the Kale.
Sure. So where is Kale, Tavern, and upgrade skills, rare, boom.
Yep.
Nice. Okay.
And then if you do Skull Crusher, there is an important thing I want to talk about.
Okay, let's do it. Yeah. And then we'll move on to Masteries.
Sure.
And by the way, guys, if you're enjoying the game, again, download link. Make sure you use my link because, again, I sound like I'm totally like hawking my own link. But again, I just want you guys to be able to get the it's a lot of silver, a lot of rewards and stuff like that. I'll also be giving away, again, the 10 bonus rewards if you leave your name and player ID in the comments below. We're giving out a bunch of gems, 100 gems. These are the prizes: 100 gems, 100 gems, 100 gems, 200, 250, 300, epic skill tomes, a void shard, just a lot of extra stuff for you guys. We'll pick those at random. Anyway, going into Biggin, upgrade
Skull Crusher. Sorry, Skull
bad.
Crusher.
No, it's my bad. My bad. I always go all the way out. Okay, here we go. Skull Crusher and skills.
And then skills. Okay, so if you click on his skills, you'll see that you can just kind of click through them quickly. That's the A1, the A2, and then the A3. The A2, we can see, if you go back to the A2, that's his most utility, his most famous ability. And we can see here that the first book that applies to that ability is going to lower the cooldown. So one book on that ability is extremely impactful because it takes it from 4 turns to 3 turns. So for a champion like Skull Crusher, when you have one that really stands out in impact, let's use our books one at a time and see how the RNG works and how many books it takes us to get that skill point to apply.
Okay,
to
cool.
The cooldown.
I like that. All right, so we're using one smash. Okay,
so we didn't get it. Let's use another one.
Yep.
Nope.
But smash is now max, so running out of places to put it. And
there you go.
There it is. Okay, cool.
So now this would be like a good stopping point. You'd be like, okay, good. I got a lot more utility out of him. I lowered a cooldown, and you can kind of stop there and come back at a later point and kind of reassess how you want to allocate your skill books. Okay,
awesome. Sounds good. Now let's go to this is the one that I was just like, oh god, I need Chosen because I'm like, dude. Okay, so Masteries. I started a little bit with Kale, but then I kind of chickened out and I stopped. But basically, so every champion has a mastery tree, I guess, where you can choose extra stats and you can kind of build them and customize them to your choosing. So I decided to go to support and offense on Kale, but then I YouTube one of your videos and I saw that might not be the best idea. So what do you think?
Well, there's good news and bad news. The good news is you picked the 2 right columns. It only lets you pick 2 columns. That's why we see the.
But I picked the wrong things.
No.
Okay.
You picked the right columns for Kale, but you missed out on the 5% crit chance on the offense tier.
What does resetting do? What does that cost? A lot?
They actually let you reset the one time for free. So you can reset them and start over for free.
Okay.
After that, it's going to cost you, I think it's like 150 gems.
Okay, so I'm just going to reset for free then. Who cares?
Yeah, let's do it.
And then I can get my, not attack, I want my
Nope.
crit.
You want a crit rate. Yeah, because remember when I said you want to get his crit rate up to 100%, and that'll really help you getting that free 5%.
So should I even bother with support at this point, or should I keep building on that tree? I don't even have enough things.
The support, so typically as you're building your champions, you're gonna want to build them across, like in the row before the column, because that top row is gonna be super cheap. Then the next row is a little bit more expensive. Then the next row is a little bit more. So I would go over to the support and get the accuracy, because Kale applies debuffs, which means accuracy is gonna help him. So I would go ahead, slam that. Yep, and You're definitely gonna want offense and support with Kale. So you're right now, as of now, you're right.
Okay, great. Okay, and then like if I was gonna do somebody like Skull Crusher, would I do? You can see I already got defense, but then would I do defense and support?
Okay, so for Skull Crusher, we would probably also want to go offense and support, and the reason is that you're probably going to use him against the clan boss at some point. And if we go down to the very bottom of offense, and then we click on the War Master, it's going to be the far bottom left mastery.
Okay.
This is going to inflict a ton of damage to champions that have a lot of max HP, or I shouldn't say champions, to bosses like the clan boss. So typically anybody you bring into a clan boss battle, you're gonna either put War Master or Giant Slayer on them. Those are kind of like the clan boss damage dealing masteries. So even though Skull Crusher isn't an attack character per se, when you're bringing him into the clan boss battle, you're going to want to get that War Master ability on him eventually. So you would still go offense and support to help your Skull Crusher out in those battles. But if you weren't going to use him against the clan boss, then you are right, you would go defense and support.
Okay, cool. All right, well that's good then. For now I will go the clan boss. I haven't even done it. I haven't even joined a clan yet. So for me, it's like so far in the future that I'm like, who cares, So I guess I'm gonna go defense and support for now, and then I can always rebuild, right?
Yeah. You can always reset. Yeah.
I'm a dirty spender. I don't care. All right, so we'll do max H. Should I do so talk a little bit about ACC, what it means and why it's useful.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so accuracy is generally one of the most important kind of stats in the game. So what happens is, like, your Kale, he does his acid rain, and then it says has a certain % chance to apply a poison debuff. Okay.
Oh.
So if he applies that poison debuff, it's not guaranteed to land. The game will then roll your Kale's accuracy number versus his opponent's resistance number to kind of generate the likelihood of that poison to successfully land. And so the higher accuracy you have, the more consistent you'll be on landing those abilities like poison and those debuffs that are going to hinder the enemy.
Got you. Okay, that makes perfect sense. Okay, well that's cool. I think that we basically covered masteries. I think they're pretty self-explanatory. Like, you think about what your champion's meant to be doing, and then you just go in that direction, right? I mean, is that too simplistic about it, or?
Yeah, and I mean, it would be its own, 30-minute video for us to go over every single mastery. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist, is you kind of look at what your character does. Do they apply debuffs? Do they apply buffs? Do they do damage? Are they a defense-centric character? And you're going to kind of look through and pick the two best mastery trees and kind of, just start building from the ground up that way. Okay,
this is something I actually messaged you about in between the last video and this one. But I wanted to ask you again, just for my audience. I asked you, okay, so we're given these auto battles, these where we can just have the gameplay for us, a certain specific amount a day. So I asked you, like, what is the best method to use those auto battles on, and you said just using it with like level 1 or 1-star champions, just leveling them up to feed to other champions. Is that correct?
Yep. Yeah. Typically, that's what we use them for.
So you put your like one good champion like Kale with like 3 1-stars or whatever, and then queue up a bunch of other guys and just get them started, right?
Yep, and let me see you queue up. Do you have auto battles? Because there's a couple points.
I already used them today.
That's fine. But so yeah, when you queue up an auto battle, you start with just your farmer. So you remove all the other slots, and then you can select, how you want it to sell. Do you want it to refill your energy? All that sort of stuff. Then you're going to go through this tab where you can fill up champions that are going to kind of be thrown in as other champions hit the max level. And yeah, typically, because you have to do a lot of swapping when you're leveling up 1-star champions, at least in the late game, because you do it in like 2 or 3 runs, I use them to, have it do that swapping automatically for me. So it just goes a little bit faster.
Okay. Yeah, I do that too. I find that very, very useful. All right, so that's that. And now I want to talk, we'll save the last video. We'll talk more about like the dungeons and about like where best to spend your time and resources. But I wanted to ask you, before we let you go, about Faction Wars. It's a new feature into the game. It was added a few weeks ago. Talk a little bit about Faction Wars, especially as a beginner to maybe intermediate player. How much of my time should I be spending there, and what are the benefits?
Yeah, Faction Wars is kind of a new feature they've released, in the last month or so. And what it is it's a feature that's going to reward you for taking the time to develop a multitude of different champions, because you can actually farm something really cool called glyphs. And I love glyphs. They were a great addition. So a glyph is basically going to let you upgrade a substat of an item. So say you want to do more damage with your Kale and you have an attack percentage substat on one of your pieces, you can use a glyph to make that attack percent stronger. And so it allows you to kind of slowly progress your artifacts and your champions, and you can only get those glyphs from Faction Wars. But as a newer player, you're probably not going to have this massive diverse army for all of the different factions. You can only use champions from that faction for the Faction Wars. So I would at least if you can clear like level 1, I mean, getting some glyphs is better than none. So but you're probably only going to be able to do like the Dark Elf and the Ogre and Tribe, because you're Biggin and your Kale. So you may not be able to even do level 1 for most of these factions as a new player.
We'll
but
here we go. I mean, all my dudes, like you said, are level 1. But actually, I have a level 30 to carry me a little bit. But I'm probably going to die. I'm realizing that right now. Okay, so go on. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
No, that's okay. But yeah, so definitely for the ones you're able to do, like the Dark Elves for Kale, maybe the High Elves with Elaine, and the Ogre and Tribes with your Biggin, I would at least do, even if it's only level like 2 or 3, I would at least do them every day, take the 5 minutes to do them, and get those glyphs that you can throw on your artifacts that are worth it.
Okay, I've never gotten a glyph yet because I haven't been concerning myself too much with Arena or Faction Wars, just kind of early on, just trying to XP my guys up and stuff. So, but you recommend just spending a little bit of time and getting them, and is it pretty self-explanatory once I actually have a glyph in terms of just equipping it? Or
Yep,
I don't know what
it's called, you're bet. It's just the same as upgrading. You're going to click on the item, and then you're going to click like upgrade, and then click like the enchant tab, and it will let you apply glyphs, and it's pretty self-explanatory. They did a good job of kind of setting it up. And the cool thing about Faction Wars is it doesn't cost you any of your energy. So it's like it's
free battles. Okay, cool.
And if you lose, it doesn't cost you anything. You get your key back. So there's no harm in trying. It doesn't cost you any energy, none of that stuff. But you don't really have any barbarians or demon spawn.
Yeah.
So I would wait until you see an Ogre and Tribe or a High Elf or a Dark Elf, and then I would run in there and try to
guys. Okay, I got you. All right, man. Well, hey, thank you again for coming on the channel. I thought this was a really super, at least for me, really a super informative video. So, yeah, Chosen, dude, you're killing it, man. Thank you so much. And again, to all my viewers, go ahead and download the game. Check it out. Again, the link is below. It's a 30-day offer to get those extra bonuses, including the Executioner. So check that out. Make sure you take advantage of that now. And most importantly, subscribe to my man Chosen. I'll have his YouTube channel in the pinned comment, so check that out as well in the info below. So any final words, Chosen? Thanks so much for coming on, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, yeah, no, I just appreciate you for having me, and good luck to all of you who download Raid, and hope you kill it.
All right, man. Take it easy. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Appreciate it. And as always, take care.